So the first thing about getting a good vocal recording is, can you believe it? Actually hearing what you're recording.
What a bunch of fucking bullshit.
I know it seems so ridiculously obvious and common sense, but a lot of the techniques and tips people want to give you on recording vocals is going to be, you got to be this far away from the microphone, right? And you want to have a pop filter. It's all bullshit. You want to use your ears, guys. This is the most important part to any vocal recording. And to becoming a better vocalist overall, like a recording artist, you want to be able to hear how much sibilance you're hitting, how many consonants you're hitting, how many plosives, right? You should be able to hear that in your headphones. So the headphone mix is probably the most important part about recording yourself at home. In a studio, project studio, garage, bedroom, wherever you're recording yourself, you should always be trying to hear everything. Okay. Now I've given this tip before, but you also want to get a vocal chain going. You want to compress the crap out of it, and you want to just listen and see what kind of noises are in the room, right? And you want to be able to avoid any noises or any room reflections, right? So the first thing I would do is I'd get a vocal chain going, and I'll show you in a little bit on screen what my personal vocal chain looks like. But I'm going to start by showing you, this is the TLM 103, the Neumann TLM 103. TLM stands for transformerless microphone. So it's very, very clean. And the best part about this microphone is how clean it is, but it's also the capsule. The capsule is the most important part. It's a very sensitive gold sputtered capsule, right? So it's gonna capture everything in the room.
What? Nothing.
All right, so I want to have no gate on anything right now. I want to compress the vocal. I want to listen to the room. I want to listen to the reflections in the room. And I want to make sure that I have some sort of screen like this, or maybe you have gobos or something that you can put around the microphone to kill some of those room reflections, those first order reflections. But then you also want to be able to turn it, right? And make sure that this part is blocking any computer noise, buzz, hum, light hum, anything like that. And that's why I compress the crap out of it, right? So that I can hear that stuff first. So I can go, okay, what's in the room? What am I hearing? All right, what do I need to turn off, right? If I go, hey, hey, and I start clapping, and is a guitar resonating? Is something in the room going, shee, shee? Or is it going, hoo, hoo? Is anything like really going off in the room, right? And how can I get rid of all that so I'm just getting my vocal? That's really, really important. Okay, second thing is obviously is going to be microphone placement. But this all comes from listening to what you're doing. So make sure you have a good pair of headphones. I really like these ATH 50Xs. These are great headphones. They have a nice balanced frequency spectrum. There's a little bit of a poke up in the high mids, so I can hear the sibilance really well, right? And I can capture that, and I can make sure that I kind of hold it back when I'm singing, right? Because I don't want to accentuate those consonants, because I'm going to have to de-ess more. I'm going to have to mix more in the mix, and that's just going to be more work. It's going to cause more artifacting. You can't use RX and DS and all this stuff to make a great vocal. Those are just fixes, right? Those are mix fixes. They are not mixing. They're not part of vocal mixing. Okay, so if you get a great recording with a great vocalist and they're holding back their consonants, right? If they're able to control themselves a little bit better, then your mix is going to sound better. It's going to sound more natural. It's going to sound bigger, more open, right? So we're trying to capture the performance, and the performance is everything. All right. So this is a reflection filter. The reason we use this is not to block sounds. It's really to block reflections from the mic. So a lot of people I see doing this wrong right away. They're taking the mic and they're jamming it into the reflection filter, right? And this is a big no-no, because a cardioid pattern on a microphone is going to come out all the way back to the back, and it's going to come out to the sides, right? And if you push that in, you're all of a sudden going to, you're going to get really boxy. You're going to get a lot of like 200 to 400 buildup. And that stuff, again, we have to fix. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get that microphone placed right, which means as simple as adjusting this, right? and figuring out, like right there, you can hear a big buildup and boom, right? If I keep pulling it out, I go, okay, I'm hearing it differently. Ooh, 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 ooh. I like that. That's nice and clean. And you got to get a balance. You got to find that part where you're getting no reflections in the room, but you're also not getting a bunch of boom from the microphone, getting close to boundaries, right? So that's proximity effect, right? So if we get really close on a cardioid pattern, we get a lot of buildup of low end. Okay, so what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a good balance. I want a balance of body in my vocal, and I want a balance of cut and a balance of top in and all that. So that's the first thing, moving it in and out of this, right? And that could be as the same thing if you don't have one of these. It could just be moving back and forward from the mic, right? The second thing is, and you're using your ears. I'm not going to be like, guys, it's 4 to 6 inches. Okay, we're talking about actual vocal production right now, okay? You want to use your ears and you want to find a spot where it sounds really good, right? For what you're doing. Yeah, I'm rapping right now. Okay, I'm rapping. I can hear the room firing off, right? So what I want to do is grab some of these gobos. I want to place them around here and not get that of the rooms firing off, right? If I'm rapping. If I'm singing and I'm, hey, 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 I'm not getting any room reflections, right? I have a really tight, hyper-compressed vocal. I'm fine. This is good. It's nice and balanced. Hey, I'm going down the street, right? But what if I hit a different note? If hey, right? Is my room firing off? Check the recording, go listen to it. Oh yeah, the room's firing off. Okay, so put some gobos up. You feel me? It's very, very basic shit. All right, so use your ears. That's key one. All right, so we're going to move the mic in and out. We're trying to kill room reflections. We don't want room reflections. Unless you do, and that's the sound you're going for, then make sure that your room reflection is musical, right? So the milliseconds of delay is going to be like, from 20 milliseconds to, 50 milliseconds. And you're going to get a nice slap delay from a room, and that's what you're going for, and you're in a nice studio or something. Cool. Do it on purpose.
I'm sorry.
Okay, second, third, fourth, I don't know what one we're on. All right, but this is huge. You're either going to tilt the microphone up and you're going to hear all of a sudden my vocal is super nasally. Hey guys, I'm nasal man and I'm talking out of my nose. Okay, I got to fix your recording. You just fucked up. Congrats. If you go direct on, sometimes it's too much consonants. Consonants, right? It's so direct. So I try to find a balance between this and tilting it down and getting rid of the consonants a little bit, but I still have intelligibility. I still have my throat in there, right? You want to point it a little bit at the chest. You're going to get a chesty, throaty kind of vibe, right? What are you trying to capture in the vocal? What is the vocal calling for? What is this? Hey, I'm a rock singer. I got a fucking gnarly voice. Are you trying to do that? Then give it more throat, right? If you have someone that's very chesty and they're boomy like this, yeah, man, I'm boomy like this, bro, then you need to tilt it up and you need to get more direct on it. Simple. Use your ears, okay? So that's really important. The more you tilt it up, the more you're recording literally the cavity of your head. You're recording your nose. You're recording your nose. You're getting all this stuff, okay? Now, even if I talk like that and I tilt the mic down, listen. Hey, you're getting all this stuff, and you're getting all this stuff, and you're getting all this stuff. You see, it goes away. Just because I'm pointing the microphone differently. These microphones are very, very sensitive. Any microphone on the market right now that's a cardioid, condenser, hypercardioid, any condenser microphone that takes 48 volts, they're going to be sensitive as fuck, right? So any little movement you make, if you want to get rid of if you find a good position tilting it, and you want to get rid of a little bit more S's because the singer, the rapper you're working with just really isn't that good. That's the truth. It's their fault, right? It's not your fault. They need to get better at becoming a recording artist. There's an art to recording, okay? And, you got to be an engineer, so you just got to fake it with them, right? So you can actually take the mic and you can turn it, right? So if I'm doing this and I'm going S, 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 see, I can find a good spot where I'm not getting as much consonants. I'm de-essing them. I'm turning the capsule. A lot of microphones, another thing to check out, and I hope this is really deep for you, but it's also very useful for you, right? Like I'm going real deep into this stuff. But another thing you want to check out on your actual microphone, your manufacturer manual, is you'll see a diaphragm, you'll see the cardioid pattern, and you'll see the pickup and the frequencies that microphone picks up from this angle all the way around the pattern, okay? And you want to pay attention to that because sometimes there's a big dip in the 1K or there's a dip in the 4K if you hit it from here, right? And then you get a really different response hitting it directly on. So just pay attention to these things, okay? Now that's really everything for getting your microphone set up. The next thing is obviously like being able to record well. Like a great recording artist, I don't care if you're a guitar player, you're a singer, you're a trombone player, I don't give a shit what you do or what you play into a microphone. If you're great at recording and you're an artist and you know how to record, you're gonna do this. You're gonna go, hey, put the microphone up, engineer. I got it. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, let's go. Now I'm gonna sing into the microphone. Get what I'm saying? They're going to figure out how to hit the microphone. They're gonna perform on the microphone because they're recording artists. And if you're doing the Drake thing, it's literally straight up and it's just, yeah, I talk like this and I just keep it right here and I just Drake it out. I don't need to move. I don't need to do anything. It's all diaphragm control, right? So that's it, guys. Now I want to show you the chain. Let's move over to the screen. All right, so here we are. We're gonna put together this chain that you've actually been hearing this whole time, but I want to show you what it's made up of. I want to explain kind of my thought process behind this chain and why I've done what I've done with it, right? So the first thing going on here, and I'm doing this in the UAD console, okay? You can do this on your input for Logic, input for Pro Tools, Ableton Live. It does not matter, okay? And also, you don't need a Neve 88RS going in. You can use a preamp that you got. It doesn't matter, all right? Just try and pay attention to the concepts I'm doing, okay? I don't want you to get carried away with, I need to go get a 88RS plugin and get a console and get a Apollo. And no, stop. We're talking about a vocal chain right now, okay? So this is the preamp. The first thing I'm doing here is I'm using the actual preamp emulation on the Universal Audio Apollo. This is the X6, right? You can hear it's got some top end on it, some sizzle here. This is right around, 4K, right? So you can see on this dial here, 3.7, in between 3.7 and 6. So we're probably right around 5K there. So I'm just giving it a high shelf. I'm going to turn that on and off so you can hear it. Check, check, check. That's the high shelf right there. That's the high shelf on, right? If I bypass that, you're just basically, I'll take all the EQ off. Hey, there you go. Now we're pretty flat, right? I don't have that nice little sizzle. The sizzle is really for things that cut through on phones and on bigger speaker systems and translate anywhere, right? So that's what that is. And then you can see down here, that's really all I have going on here. I just have a shelf going on here with a little bit of a boost and no other EQ at all. Okay, I'm just checking this out first. Okay, so I do have another EQ. So this is the boost here up at the top, 12K or so, right around 12K. And then this boost here is at the 5K that we just talked about. So all this is a boost in the shelf. I can turn that off and that shelf at 12K goes off. And you can hear also you get less sibilance, right? So it's up to you. How do you want it, right? Do you want it like this or do you want it like this? And you got more brightness and more, pop on top. So it all depends on what you're doing. So second thing is I have the high pass filter on, okay? Because obviously a lot of the stuff I'm doing is in the studio. I'm doing this kind of stuff, content. I'm cutting, vocals, and then this is just kind of a chain going in on the vocals, and then I might process a little bit later different stuff. So this is just my chain going in, right? So that's it. I'm just getting rid of the bottom stuff, which is, really just the low stuff. I can't even do it, right? Even when I hit this, you're not hearing all that rumble. So I just cut out all the rumble there. That's all I'm doing there. And you can see it's here at 31.5 hertz right at the beginning. And then I'm doing a little compression here. As you can see, actually quite a bit of compression. And I really like that. Like, I love compression. Right, because then I can do stuff like this, right? And then I can also go like this. And I can get soft. But it's still compressed and it's still in your face, right? And I can get loud and it's taking that down, right? So this is really great for broadcast stuff, but it's also good for cutting all sorts of different vocals. So that's what this chain is built around. So that compression is here. There's a little bit of makeup gain. There is the threshold brought down a little bit, and that's really it. There you go. And you can see the compressor going, hey, compression. Almost 10 dB right there. But otherwise, here we go. Normal talking voice, maybe, 1 to 3 dB. All right, and then the next thing in my chain. Oh, and another thing, when you're making a vocal chain, you want to open up the preamp. See my preamp, it's at 40 dB, right? You got to keep that open, because here's what it sounds like as I start to close it. Check, check, check. Hey, I sound like it's not that great. Not that great. Right? But if you hit the gain staging, you're going to hit your stuff at the right dB. You're going to hit the next thing at the right dB, right? That's gain staging. Really important that you check out gain staging. I'm not going to get into that here. Now I got an 1176, second thing in the chain, all right? This is really important that it's really fast attack, because I got all right, so if I speak fast, it's still catching it, and it's still compressing it, and it's grabbing it really quick. And an 1176 is a really fast attack compressor. So as I open it up, you're going to hear, wow, okay, you're getting louder and louder, Brad. Okay, so I want to kind of keep that under control. That's what I'm doing. So I can be, and yeah, welcome guys, blah, blah, blah. Or I can be, hey, I'm singing on the microphone, right? I want it all to sound good. The release, I always keep it pretty quick on 1176. As you see, especially when I'm talking, I don't want it to keep holding the compression. So I'm going to keep it pretty fast here. Stays open, right? Cha, 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 cha. Cha, 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 cha. Cha, 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 cha. See how that's just like choking it out? So I want that cha, 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 cha. I want that to bounce. Okay, and then input here, we're just getting 3 to 5 dB on the big A. If I really go, it's gonna take it down a little bit. And 4-to-1 ratio. Very basic stuff. Nothing crazy here. Next thing, PQ, EQ P1A. An amazing EQ. Love it so much. I think most people do. A lot of top going on here, and then some body boost at the 100. The boost and attenuate just basically shifts the curve a little bit more. So I'm getting a little bit more at 200 as well. So I'm going to bypass this in and out. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Right? Just real nice. Kind of brings it forward. Hey, brings up the intelligibility. Hey, that's really nice. I like that. Gives it a little more three-dimensional because it is a really nice analog EQ that it's emulating. And then I keep the bandwidth pretty broad, but sometimes I find myself here 5 to 6 and kind of tight, and I like that as well. So, and I also do this sometimes down at 30, right? Because that sounds great too, right? But this just happened to, I liked it like this, so I left it. Okay, and then the last thing here is another Neve 88RS. But why? Right? Why, Brad? Why would you do that, man? Because here I have the gate on, okay? Turning the gate off. Now I got everything coming through all the time, right? And this is the gate on. Gate on. Just kidding, I wasn't even talking. But that's the thing, like I'm adjusting the gate so that it's very, very open. Okay, so anytime I'm just not talking at all, it's gonna close it up. Perfect, right? That way I can record my vocals. There's no editing involved. Will here can make the edit, pop it out. I can cut a vocal, very, very minimal editing involved. I got to move quick, you know? I do sync licensing stuff. I want to write a song. I want to get to the mix as fast as possible. I want to focus on the performance. So I have the gate on this. And that's it. I'm doing nothing else here. It looks like there's an EQ, and I'm cutting out actually a good amount of, 400 area. So let's take the EQ off, and this happens a lot. Check, check, check. Hey, here we are again, right? It sounds not as intelligible. So I'm cutting out a good amount of boxiness. And the reason that happens is because as you start to stack this stuff, right? Compression, EQ, right? That's, you're bringing it all back up, right? So at the end, I'm just kind of shaping what's all compressed and everything's like put together. And then I'm like, okay, now just carve out that little area. So that's all I'm doing. So that's the chain right there, you guys. I want you to understand a chain. I want you to see, I'm just going to turn all of this stuff off. I'll bypass this. Let's see, disable all. Check, check, check. So see, now I'm sounding like, oh, this is what the microphone actually sounds like with a little bit of compression on the Neve, right? And a little bit of EQ. You can hear the room. You could hear computer noise. You could hear all sorts of stuff. It doesn't sound really broadcast quality. Sounds kind of nasally. You know, there's all that kind of stuff that I didn't like, right? So here, I'm going to enable everything. Hey, check, 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 check. Hey, we're back. We're back in action. We're broadcasting live, baby. We're live at 5, right? Professional vocal. Dry. Now, if I want to add reverb and anything later, print this. I might back off on some compression if I'm cutting a record or something. Print it into Logic. I got a great starting point. And also I can hear what I'm doing as I'm singing. I can hear all the little breaths and all the sibilants and the T's and the P's. So as I'm actually writing a song or recording something, I can hear everything. I can hear the mouth clicking, right? The stuff that you're not hearing because you don't have a chain going on. So build your chain. So that's it. Microphone placement, room placement. What room are you in? Listening to the room, listening to your headphones, compress the crap out of the signal, get a vocal chain going, right? Pay attention to what it's doing to your vocal. Is it making more of the consonants popping out? Is it helping the vowels? Are you attacking too fast or too slow on the compressor? Are you releasing too fast or slow? Are you compressing too much on the way in? There's a lot of things to think about, but as you get a feel for this is more of like a flow, right? And as you start to become really good at recording, you're also going to become a better recording artist because you'll know how to approach the microphone and you'll know how to tweak your chain as you go. Right. So that's about it. If you want some good starting chains for vocal recording and things like that, whether you're using Logic Pro or Pro Tools, click the link in the description, pick up the Logic Pro production pack that I've made. I've also made a Pro Tools one. There's some great vocal chains in there. And like any vocal chain, these things need to be tweaked to your voice, right? But they're amazing starting points. And I think you can get a lot out of them by just throwing them up, putting your microphone through the signal, getting the gain right, and doing all these techniques I've showed you earlier, and just going and getting to work, like truly, like, and then tweak them and save them as your own, right? Like this is my main lead vocal. Here's my background vocals, etc. So that's it for now. Hope you guys really like this. If you got someone that really needs to learn more about vocal recording, getting better at vocal recording, just share this video with them. You know, like this video is what, like 10, 15 minutes long, and it's going to teach you a lot of things that, I spent $100,000 in audio school to learn. And, we're always improving. Different microphones give you different frequency responses. Different rooms give you different preamps. Everything's so different, right? So you got to use your ears. That's the number one thing. You have to learn how to hear and listen. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in.